to my latest bike review, and this one's a bit special. I've had this bike for 30 years, or very nearly 30 years, and it was made by the legendary frame builder Shrubb. Cliff started his career working for Claude Butlers in the 1950s. He made frames for some really famous racers of the past, like Sean Yates, Tony Doyle, and he also made a speed record bike for, I think it's for a guy called Dave Guys. Anyway, this frame he made for Geoffrey Butlers, and this was the last frame he actually made for Geoffrey Butlers in 1991. He then had his own workshop, I believe, in Croydon, White Horse Road, before making frames for Pearson's in Sutton, where he finished his frame building career. I think he died in 2014, so I'm led to believe. His main job was to fix clocking in machines. Anyone of my age would remember clocking in machines, because nearly every factory had a clocking in machine, especially around South London. Yeah, so he was quite a skilled person in making stuff. So, yeah, getting back to this frame, this is made out of Reynolds 531, and originally it was called a Geoffrey Butler. Yeah, so I rode this bike from about 1992 to 2002 in all weathers, every day. It was my main training frame. Back in those days it had a 52/42 front chainring and an 8-speed block with 13 to 23. So quite high gearing, like we all used to ride. And it was Shimano 105, had Shimano 105 equipment, and it weighed 23 pounds. So anyway, I retired the frame in 2002, and it spent the next 19 years in my shed, and also in a hedge for a while because I had nowhere else to put it. So bringing the story forward to April 2020, when I was on furlough, I was getting a bit bored, so I pulled the frame out of the shed and I give it a good clean, and it still had the original RX 100 crankset on it, still had the front brake stuck on it, still had an old Campagnolo seat post stuck in, and it still had the headset on there. So what was I going to do with it? Was I going to make it as it was originally, an 8-speed with down tube shifters, or was I going to go modern retro? So I decided in the end to go modern retro. So I was looking around at who could do the work to a similar standard to what Cliff did before. So I found Winston Vaz, who still makes steel frames today in Hither Green, South London, which is near Catford, and he could do the framework for me. So I rang Winston up and I told him what I wanted done. So I went to his workshop and he looked at the frame, and he gave me a price for doing the repair work. He said that the top lugs here were all rusted due to me riding it on a turbo trainer, so they needed replacing. The bosses here needed changing for STI lever ones, and obviously you had to get all the stuck parts out of it, and then the frame was shot blasted. My original idea for the colour scheme for this bike was it was going to be green, but then I really like the McLaren supercars, the colour of the orange ones, so I was looking for paint paint job similar to that. So Mario does the spraying. Mario Vaz.with does the spraying for the shop at Hither Green. We took the frame up there, and he actually knew Cliff Shrubb back in the day, and he was telling me a few things about him. Anyway, I was looking in the workshop, and I said to Mario I wanted like a metallic orange, and I just saw this colour, and it was exactly the right colour I was looking for. I think they call it sunburst orange. Anyway, Mario and Winston, they did the framework. So then I was going to go with a pair of American Classic wheels that I had on the bike that I was stripping for this project. But then I thought, no, I'll get some handmade wheels with orange hubs. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's got Hope RS4 orange hubs, and it's also got orange nipples with black rims. The front's got 28 spokes and the rear's got 32 spokes, because I thought I could get away with 28 at the front and have a stronger rear wheel. The parts it's got on it were taken off my Eddie Merckx bike, and they are classic Dura parts from 2008. I think it was the third series of the STI lever Dura 7800. So it's got Dura calipers, and it's got it's 10 speed. So it's got a Dura rear derailleur, front derailleur. The block is 11 to 28, and the actual crankset is Ultegra, and that's a 50-34, because back in 2008 Dura didn't come in a compact. Other parts on the bike, it's got brand new Deda stem and Deda handlebars. It's got a Campagnolo chorus seat pin and a trusty charge spoon saddle. What else have we got on here? Oh, we got a Campagnolo record headset as well, and oh, it's got I call this quite a Sunseeker. So it's got caps bar ends with Sunseeker written on them, and the Brooks leather bar tape. There's a few people I've got to thank for this build. They obviously are Mario and Winston Vaz for doing the framework. Oh, I should say the wheels were made by SBC Cycles in Shoreditch, so I need to thank them for that work. Need to thank Wallet & Cycles for letting me clean all my Dura parts up for free, and for Tony Malinder for fitting the headset and the getting the seat post into the frame. That was another story. I've also got to thank my mate Vince, who I cycle with in the Handlebars Bicycle Club, because he helped. Well, he didn't help. He basically built all the bike up for me, with me watching on. Another part you may notice is these barrel adjusters that I got. I can't remember where I got them from, but they actually match the frame colour really nicely. Yeah, so like I said, it was a bit of a labour of love. Originally this bike weighed 23 pounds, but with this lighter weight Dura kit on it, it weighs 20.5 pounds, and it's a more usable bike now because it's got the compact gearing on it. It can get up. I can climb most of the hills in the local area really easy on it. Although it wouldn't be any good for somewhere like the Lakes or Scotland, because lowest gear on this is 3428, and that's just a little bit too hard to climb the really 20% climbs up in Scotland and the Lakes. But one thing I have noticed going back to steel from a carbon bike is just how smooth it is. It just feels really smooth across the ground, and it's been, if you notice, the angles are really tight, so it's a really quick handling frame. It's basically designed for road racing back in the day, so the handling is really sharp compared to a modern day sportive type bike that I've been riding for the last 20 years. So all in all, I'm really pleased with how it's turned out. So that's my latest review. I hope you like it.